Welcome back to the online learning classes. Before we start today's topic, let us first revise which we have studied in previous lecture. In previous lecture, we studied about modes of nutrition in plants. For example, parasitic, saprophytic, symbiotic, and insectivorous plant. Now we will see role of nutrients and effects of their deficiency of plants. Nutrient, nitrogen. Now we will see the function of nitrogen. Important component of proteins, chlorophyll and cytoplasm. Effects of deficiency is stunt growth, yellowing of leaves. Nutrient, phosphorus. Function is conversion of light energy into chemical energy. Effects of deficiency is earlier leaf fall, late flowering, low growth of roots. Nutrient, potassium. Function is necessary for metabolic activity. Effects of deficiency is weak stem, whittling of leaves, falling, failure to produce carbohydrates. Nutrient, magnesium. Function is production of chlorophyll. Effect of deficiency is slow growth, yellowing of leaf. Nutrient is iron. Product of chlorophyll is a function. Yellowing of leaf is a deficiency of iron. Nutrient is magnesium. Function is production of main plant hormones. Retired growth, spotted leaf is the effect of deficiency. Zinc. Function is production of hormones and their intermediates. Effects of deficiency is slow growth, yellowing of leaf. Now we will see nutrition in animals. 3 factors involved in nutrition in animals are need for nutrients, mode of injection, and its use in the body. Nutrients are obtained from food. All the life processes run effectively due to nutrients. The circulating blood supply the nutrients to all the parts of the body. For this purpose, the food is converted into soluble forms by an elaborated process. There are steps in nutrients. There are 5 steps are there. First one is injection. Injection means intake of food into the body. Second is digestion, conversion of complex food into simple soluble form. Third is absorption, taking in of soluble nutrients into the blood. Fourth is assimilation, means utilization of absorbed food by cells and tissues for energy production, growth, and repair. The last one is ejection, removal of waste products and undigested food from the body. Now we will see types of nutrition in animals. First we will see holozoic nutrition. Holozoic nutrition means, for example, in unicellular organisms like amoeba, euglena, paramecium, all the process nutrition occur in the same cell. As you see in the figure, you can see this is a amoeba. Amoeba does not have organs like hands and mouth. It is a unicellular animal. It can take in food through any part of the surface of its unicellular body. It surrounds the food particle from all sides to take it into the cell. After that, it digests the food with the help of different enzymes. Undigested food is left behind as the amoeba move further with the help of pseudopodia. Now we will see types of animal according to the type of food. First we will see herbivorous animal. Animals that feed on plant matter such as grass, fruits, seed, etc. Example, seed eaters, fruit eaters. Carnivorous. Animals that feed on their other animal for their food. Carnivores depend on herbivores for their food and thus are indirectly depend on plant matter for food. For example, animals feeding on herbivorous. Animal that feed on insect, that is our insectivorous. As we seen in this picture, the anteater is found in Central and South America. The bobcat is found in India. Now, omnivorous. Omnivorous animals feeding on both plants and animal. For example, monkey, human being, etc. Next is scavengers. Scavengers obtain their food from dead bodies of animals. For example, vulture, crow, etc. Now next one is decomposers. Decomposers are some microbes which obtain their food by decomposing the dead bodies of organisms or other materials. Now we will see saprozoic nutrition. In saprozoic nutrition, animals decompose the dead and decaying organic matter and utilize it as the food. For example, the insect, unicellular animals, housefly, ants, spider, etc. as you seen in this picture. The last one is parasitic nutrition. Some animals depend upon other animals for food. They can obtain the food only from animals on whom they depend. This is called as parasitic nutrition. Some animals live on the body surface of other animals and obtain their food by sucking their blood. This is called ectoparasitic nutrition, and such animals are called ectoparasitic. For example, bedbug, tick, etc. As you've seen in this picture, animals like tapeworm and roundworms live inside the body of other animals and obtain their food. This is called endoparasitic nutrition, and these animals are known as endoparasitic.